Want to 10x your growth? Discover how only 3 growth hacks in 10 days can change everything. Welcome to the 10-Day Growth Hacking Challenge with your host, Nader Sabri. Today, we're here with GroCart, shaking things up in the grocery business from a wholesale perspective. They're solving some crucial problems when it comes to the fragmentation within supply chains to get things effectively, cost-effective, and quickly to grocery stores that deal with fast-moving products. Before we get started and going a little bit deeper with an introduction to the team, as a reminder, everything we do in the challenge is based on the growth thinking methodology. If you want to do what we do, this is your answer. Welcome aboard, Hussien and Nesma. They are a couple team, which is awesome. How are you doing, guys? Good morning.
Good morning, Nader.
Yeah.
It's our pleasure having this.
Morning, Nader. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm getting my energy flow, man, early in the morning.
Yeah, very early.
Awesome. So guys, let's get kickstarted. Our audience always loves to know the story behind, who jumps into the challenge. And I think you guys have an amazing story. You tackle a super crucial problem. I think that's just going to explode in the sense of your growth. It's all about just getting the things that are right in place. So why don't we start by you just telling us a little bit more about yourselves, how you founded GroCart, and a little bit more about what is GroCart, so people who want to know more can know about it. And of course, for the audience tuning in, for more information, there will be a link below that you can click to actually go to the GroCart site itself to check it out. There we go, guys. So tell me more about you guys and a bit of background to GroCart.
Yes, I'm Nesma, co-founder and the business development of GroCart, and Hussien, he is the CEO now of GroCart. So actually, our journey started since 2 years. Yeah, when we started to meet some of local farmers here in UAE. It's a little bit different from what we are doing right now, but this is how it started. So we have the idea why we don't sell the local produce of fresh fruits and vegetables on a platform and make it available to people who are living in Dubai and UAE. Then after that, we started to pivot why we are not selling this fresh produce to restaurants and also to groceries. So, and this is how it started. So we started to interview many of them. It's tens of people from this industry. And then they started to talk about their problems, their challenges, how they are dealing every day with too many suppliers. They are making too many phone calls, sending too many emails. So we thought about how we can make it easier for them to make everything available to them in one platform. So it will cut expenses, it will save a lot of time, effort, and also most importantly, save money for them. And then, yes, we got the idea of GroCart. It started only with the idea that we can, in one platform, make everything that maybe grocery or restaurant needs in one platform. We started with MVP. At the beginning, we started with demo app actually, and then we started with the MVP since more than 1.5 years. And then we drafted our very first website. So basically right now, GroCart is a smart wholesale business-to-business wholesale food and grocery marketplace. We are connecting customers like small businesses, like groceries, mini marts, restaurant, cafeterias, so on, with the brands directly. So simply they can find whatever they need in one platform with best prices and awesome service. Yeah,
amazing. So I didn't know you started with farms. Actually, that's quite amazing. Can you give me just a little bit of background, because there's so much fragmentation in the food supply chain, especially when it comes to the last mile. It's incredible.
Yeah. Actually, when we landed here in Dubai, we were new in the country. So we thought about that we need to buy our fresh fruits and vegetables for our own home. So that's how we met the first farmers in the country. That. Yeah, and it's amazing culture actually, and they are amazing people, very pure, very simple, very honest. Yeah, so this is how it started actually.
I love it. I love it. That's amazing. That's amazing. I didn't know that part. So I always learn as we go along. But what's quite amazing here is how you're solving the fragmentation problem and making it cost effective. And I think like ultimately it's a highly competitive industry, and we all know that. But ultimately we've seen highly competitive industries, especially when it comes to food, and big names like Talabat and Deliveroo, who've disrupted these spaces, who are also solving other forms of fragmentation. And with the rise of ghost kitchens and so the ecosystem, because of COVID, right? So imagine, I mean, it's quite incredible. COVID has accelerated the disruption process actually in the food business, because the food supply came under pressure. Actually, it came under pressure, a lot of questions, a lot of problems, everything from quality to speed to cost. And so I think that your timing actually is a lot, is quite optimal. Actually, your timing is right on. Now, as with any traditional industry, I myself have been in several traditional industries and disrupting industries that are old. And it's an uphill battle, but not impossible. We're in a world today where technology plays a fundamental role in shaking the foundation of industries everywhere. And no matter how old those industries and archaic they might be, technology is at the center of it. And I'm glad that you guys got a really strong brace on that. So moving forward, I mean, of course, in being a competitive environment and shaking up an industry where disruption is becoming more of a norm, what are some of the growth challenges that you guys are facing when it comes to GroCart?
Yeah, actually, the most challenge for us is shifting people from traditional way, from ordering, using emails, using phone calls, being customers visits, or you should visit the customer to place orders, to make it through digital, only digitalize the whole process, from manual to automation of the whole process. So this is a major challenge actually for us.
Awesome. Yes, I agree with you. I mean, in almost any traditional industry, whether it be food or other industries, there's set behaviors and set networks that have been there for so long. And so people just don't like change because they just want to keep things consistent. And consistency in business is important. And we've talked about consistency and growth, and we understand why it's important. Having to shift these behaviors, I agree with you, is going to be a major challenge, because once you shift those behaviors, and that is possible, that's what we do in Growth Hacking, we shift behaviors, people will start then to consume in different ways, and that's where your disruptive technology will be able to help them. And that's the primary, I think, growth challenge where everything stems from. Correct?
Yeah. Actually, it's the same thing that when, for me, from 2 years, I used to go to supermarkets to buy what I need for my home. And now I'm ordering everything online, but it wasn't that like that from 2 years maybe. So I guess with COVID, everything is changed.
Yep, COVID is a blessing in some ways, and with all respect to those who've been harmed by it, including myself. It's a blessing in its own way, isn't it? It's incredible. So moving forward, I mean, putting perspective on the growth challenges, I mean, in the next 10 days, what are the 3 growth hacks that you plan to tackle? And of course, for our audience, they know that, we do tons of, pivots and changes as we go along, but what's your base? I mean, what are the base 3 growth hacks that you're looking at in the next 10 days?
There are many. I guess first thing is to change the customer behavior. Okay. Second thing is to focus more on our service, to enhance our services, also to increase the variety of products, also to make some marketing campaigns that are costly effective. So I guess these things that we can focus on.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, behavioral change, I think, is at the center of everything in your world. And I think that's what we need to master, is behavioral change. And there's a lot of growth hacking techniques that have been, I mean, some of them have been used for a long time. And there's some new advanced ones that we're going to look at how to start to shift and shape behavior, because it's not about just new products and cheaper products and getting it faster, but it's about a behavioral change. And you just mentioned it yourself. I mean, we experienced the same thing. We would just go to the grocery store. Today, we have no problem ordering online, right? And there's this now trust factor, especially with fresh produce. Fresh produce is a sensitive one. But when it comes to like canned goods and personable items, it's not an issue. I mean, toothpaste is toothpaste, right? Not much risk with it. But when it comes to like pears or apples or tomatoes, there's people are on edge about that, but that's changed a lot. Well, that is awesome. That is GroCart. That is Nesma and Hussien, a couple team shaking things up when it comes to the supply chain of B2B, when it comes to grocery stores and getting supplies at a cost-effective and efficient way to market. As we tune out, as you don't forget that what we do here is done on the growth thinking methodology. Do check that out. And learn how we do things. In the next 10 days, we look to 10x the growth of GroCart, and welcome aboard.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you in hack number 1.